Recording, and let me just share my screen. One last setup before we start. All right. So yeah, let's start with some of the announcements. The first announcement, yes, those practice questions that you are submitting. Of course, I got it. I got a few emails about the feedback. Very soon, you are going to hear back from Nicholas about the feedback of the practice questions, most of them. So Nick would be providing you some of the feedback related to that one. What I would be doing is that I would be going with your, like, the QAP when they are done, and I'll be just, with that one. But anyhow, I'll also look at those things if Nick mentions some of them. And if any one of you is really after getting feedback from Nick, you are interested to hear back from me, let me know. I'll definitely have a look at that one as well, and we'll talk to you. Right. So first announcement. Second announcement. Yes. So I could see in yesterday's session that I have I just saw that some of you are not easy with the JavaScript functions and things like that. And for that reason, I put an announcement yesterday. I hope you have seen the announcement. I hope you have seen our a review session. And by the way, as I have mentioned in the review session, that review session is not for everyone. Of course, you are allowed not to attend. Rather, I would really suggest that if you are the one who is a little bit, more than comfortable with things going on right now, I would suggest that you should not be attending. You know why? Because I might be discussing at a very, very basic level, because I understand that some of the students, they are having really hard time with some of the very, very basics of the thing. So what I'll do is that session would be much like more like a more like a very basic session with mostly the questions from the students. And those questions might be, again, quote unquote, someone might find those stupid question, which I don't see them stupid, but you would find them stupid question or not the good question, because you would say that this is just the basic thing, everyone should know it. But I would be understanding in that session that no question is a bad question, right? And you're all allowed to ask anything in that session. So it would go on Friday at 11 NL time, which is 9:30 our time, like Ontario. But anyhow, whenever I communicate a time to you, I would be definitely always communicating the NL time, right? I will never be talking about, of course, my own time. And so have a look at that one. So I have announced the session. I hope, again, I got a response from one of the student. I'm thankful that they said that, yes, we can see that at 11 a.m. So it's not a mandatory session. And as I said, if you're the one who is feeling much like comfortable with the topics, you are allowed not to attend. And of course, you should not attend again, because if I were in your place and I was having a I was having a comfortable time with both of the thing, I would have just taken taken off of that Friday, because I don't want to listen very basic questions. But anyhow, I hope that would be a helpful session for you. And yes, I have seen most of the people have reacted to that announcement, reacted to that one. Having said that, last week, last class of our programming, we started talking about the regular expressions. And I told you some of the functions related to the regular expressions. What I'm doing today is that I would continue my discussion one way or other on that topic. But alongside that, I would want to, apply some of the functions and solve a real world problem with you guys. And that real world problem, when I will solve, will give you a very good understanding of some of the things, some of the functions that you are going to really like about. So what we are doing right now is that the things that we discussed about regular expression last week. If you remember, we talked about what is a regular expression. And, do we need to pass in assignment from yesterday then? Natalina, the practice questions, they are not for the grading. First of all, just keep in mind, they are there for this very purpose, that how much you are understanding the concepts and how much you are comfortable with the topics. So If you ask a very blunt question, do we need to pass in the practice questions of yesterday? I would say no, and I would say yes. So again, no, because it's not something that is mandatory. That is that that would harm your grade if you don't do that. But that's not the way. The practice questions are more for your understanding purposes, and so I say no, because if you are unable to submit, don't panic. And if you are able to submit maybe half of them, one question out of them, two questions out of them, you do submit them. And why the yes? Because I want to understand, okay, where you are just, like for example. So for example, Natalina, someone of you says that I was only able to solve one problem. Submit that and let me know, again, maybe because I said that Nicholas will be giving more of the feedback of that, but let me know, write an email to me that I just solved one question. Here's my solution that I submitted on the assignment. Like, help me out. You know what I mean? So definitely I would help you. And the Friday session is specifically for those students, those who are having a real difficulty in understanding the concepts. Yes, Liam. And that's why I'm just making these, announcements very clearly, that please keep in mind, if you are having difficulty in those kind of things, I would definitely want to, I would really want to. So today what I'm doing is that to practice the regular expressions, to practice the functions, and I would again try to keep my pace as slow as possible, because I would really want to I would really want to just be sure that everyone is understanding about the intent, the KPI, hammer. No, Liam. So please, again, another very explicit announcement. Never give preference to practice questions over QAP. Just keep in mind, practice questions, if you are unable to submit on time, of course, it's not a harm to anything, be it grade or be it anything. But yes, it is a harm to, because I might not get understanding, okay, where you are standing, where you are feeling comfort, like difficulty in. But passing in the practice question will give, like two things to me. Of course, first of all, your comfortability level, and secondly, of course, your work that you are doing. And of course, that would really give us a well understanding of the things, right? So let's start talking about a little problem that you're definitely gonna like it, because it's a problem that would cover up most of the things that we have just seen, like that we have seen during the last week. And I'll try to go as slow as possible, so that I can understand what is so that you can understand what is going on and how we are basically getting a problem done. Now let's talk about the problem for today. So we are talking. So again, I won't do this in week 3, because of course we are in week 4. So I'll go in my lectures and I'll create a new folder and I'll call it week 4. This is our week 4. And now I'll just close that regular expression, and I'll close this one as well. These are HTML pages, by the way. I don't want to go to the HTML pages. I'm here, and this is our week 4. And in week 4, I'm creating a new file and I'm calling it script.js. Right. So we are working on script.js. That would be our file for today. So I'll be just talking about this file today. Now we have a problem. What's the problem? That we have got this, let's start talking about this. We have got this data for us. I'll write this data. So I have a data, for example, for example, I say var data is equal to backticks. Now here I would like to ask a simple question of everyone. Backticks is something that you have used somehow in Python and somehow somewhere, but let's discuss this one. So for example, I have this data 1321, comma Alan Smith, comma 519.123.4567, comma and 62 inches, right? And then we have a new line. And again, I would recommend don't copy don't write this one. I will share this with you because I want to show you what I'm doing. 0131322 space comma space James and space Lee space 226 123 4567 comma 149 centimeters, and then another new line 01323 and then comma and then spaces and then Kim Thomas and then spaces and comma and 532 and 123 4567 something like that, comma 138 centimeter. Okay. So as I said, please don't copy this data and I will share this data with you. So I'll copy this one now because I wanted to make it as bad as possible because we'll be making it good later on. So you guys can all copy it from here. I'm just pasting it on your chat window. So the code snippet, because I want to take it as a code snippet, insert and paste it. Can I have a thumbs up when you copy this code into your file and then let me know, because I would be talking about what we would be doing. Wonderful. Austin says got it. Let's wait for some others to just do that, Austin. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, I can see Emmy has sent. I'll just wait for some more guys to just confirm me, because I would be just in the meantime I'm just pulling up one of my file. I'll just, if I'm able to find that. Yes, wonderful, Brandon. And but just keep on typing that who out of you has got it, because I would like to see that. Okay, Daniel, thank you. Right. So Matthew, okay. So you guys have got the data. Most of you have got the data. That's wonderful. And I'm expecting now, of course, not everyone has given that, but I'm expecting that now everyone has got it, and hopefully everyone is ready with that one. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, so now let's see what is the problem and what is the problem that we want to solve over here. So the problem is that we have got this data. It has multiple lines of code. Do you see that multiple lines? And if you look at carefully, it looks like the ID of an employee, or for example, someone. Then looks like the second one is the name. Third one looks like the phone number. And the fourth one, let's suppose, is basically height of the person. Now, I want you to focus on something. Do you see that it has this one line of data? And then there is a new line. New line means, enter. I have hit enter over here. Then I have 0132, another ID. Now, here comes the real thing. There are many spaces before comma, then many spaces after comma, then James, and then many spaces before Lee. So this is James Lee. And again, the data is same. Then the phone number is also very much offset from this comma. Yeah. So no. 62 inches is one word, Melana. It's one word, like it's showing the height of the person. And I'll tell you, just Melana, just understand that. So this is one value, not comma. It would be a new line, Melana. Melana, are you getting that one? It's a new line. And those who are familiar, I'm telling about, or like I'm just writing and we'll remove that. Here is a /n. Do you guys know about /n? Yes or no? /n means new line. So every record is separated by a new line. Melana, do you get it? Okay, so 62 inches, and then you see that this is the phone number, and then height of the person, but now height is not in inches, rather it is in centimeters. Good. Then a new line comes here. 0132, another ID, another name, but after so much spaces, Kim Thomas, and some spaces, and then phone number of, yes, exactly. Phone number of the person and 138 centimeters. Do you guys understand what is the problem? I'll write the problem here. So the problem is clean the above data and make it looks like normal data. What do you mean by normal data? What do you mean by normal data? Actually, what we want, I'll just write that in comments, by the way, because I want to show you something. I want to convert this data into this. I'll take this one. So this is the requirement, right? I'm just writing the requirement. What I want to do is that, for example, this should be data records is inconsistent. What do you mean by that, Alan? Yes, it is inconsistent. It is a bad data. You have to clean up that data. I need this output. James Lee, it should be like this. And again, the phone numbers all should be formatted with one format. For example, all phone numbers should be like this format, something like that. And one more thing, that all, for example, I don't know how much it becomes. I'm just saying that. So that becomes 56 cm, 56 inches, because I have to convert that everything. So data has to be consistent, right? With every respect. Yes, you are right, Valentine. Inconsistent data, I have to make that consistent, something like that. So Kim Thomas should come here. And again, the phone number of Kim Thomas should also go in that format, maybe dash, dash, and not 138 centimeters. For example, if I say it has to be 60 inches. Yes, exactly. So this all is happening over here. And what we have to do, like you can understand that I have to convert this data into this one. So data should be consistent. Every phone number should be of same format, and every height should be in inches, and there must be no spaces, and there must be nothing in between that. Like we have to normalize or clean the data. And as you're right, consistent, make the data consistent. Did you guys understand the problem? First of all, I would like this ask question. Are you guys understanding the problem? What is the problem that we need to do? Wonderful. You are missing commas. Oh, where I'm missing commas? Okay, I'm missing commas somewhere. I don't know. So, it should be 60 to 15. Oh, no. Listen, Austin. I don't want to put a comma over here. I'll keep this as a new line. You know what I mean? I just understand what you're saying. Actually, I want to keep it like this one, right? So I want to keep it like this one. All right. So now everyone, please be ready to solve this problem. This will give us a very good practice, because this is a real world problem that would really give us a real practice of what we are doing, right? So now let's come back over here. So I would like to write a function over here. And let's see. I'll say process data. Rather, let me give you another very interesting term. It is called CSV data. Actually, it is called CSV data, comma separated values, if you have heard about that. CSV data. So it's a comma separated data. And of course, there are new lines as well. And we have to convert this comma separated value. So I'll write a function. I'll write process CSV, right? It will receive a string, any string. And what it returns is that it returns CSV, right? Whatever it receives, oh, sorry, CSV, it will receive the CSV data and it will return the CSV data. So I want to write a function. First of all, this function, there is sound. Is there sound right now? Just hit a key on my keyboard. I'm not sure if there is just no sound or if I did something. Okay, so what's happening is function process CSV. I will be writing this function in which I will receive some data and I would just call that. So for example, I'm just showing you first of all the main solution. So I'll say var processed data is equal to call the process CSV and pass that CSV data, right? And console.log processed. Are you guys getting that one? I'm making a function. Its name is process CSV, which will receive CSV data, comma separated value data. It will, do something. Everything will be done inside, and it will return the data. So I'll call this function. How come? I'll say var processed equal to process CSV. Call this function. Pass this CSV data that we have. I pass this, and when processed is returned, it should be something like this. Did you guys get my understanding of this one? And again, right now, if I run that one, of course, you will see the data will come by itself. So I have to go. OK, so first of all, I have to go cd programming JavaScript. Oh. OK, so yeah. What is the name? Yes, cd programming JavaScript, cd lectures, cd week 4. So I'll have to go into that one, right? And now if I run this program, it's script.js. So you see that data is coming in its original position, of course. Now I'll start the processing. Everyone understand that right now it is just returning the same data. You see, it's all bad data. And I don't want this bad data. Rather, I want to clean the data and I want to work on that one. Are you guys getting that one? Now, let's talk about what is the first thing that we will be doing. What is the first thing that we will be doing. Now, step number 1, the solution to solve the problem. Step number 1, split the string into an array of separate rows. That is an array with rows separated by \n. This is the first thing that we have to do. Right now, the data is like this. The data is like this. And I will just close it for a second. And I would like to not close it. Rather, I will just minimize it because I'll have to again go back there. So the first point is that we'll split the string. So this is basically treated as one string because there is this backtick. So from this backtick, this is all one string. This one string has new line characters with which the new lines are terminated. So the first problem is split the string into an array of separate rows. That is an array with rows separated by \n. Is that making sense to everyone? Now, let's start solving this problem. To do that, what I would like to do, I would just come before here. And again, I would like to write a function. So I'll write function for everything. So I'll write function and I'll call this function split into rows. Take a string and see here what. So I'll say return whatever S has come. S is a string that is being received. Split that S with, if I write \n character. Are you guys getting that one? What does that mean? The string that you have received, split that with \n. Whenever you find a \n, just split that and do that. So this is a function. So now if I apply this function over here and see what will become my data, if I say here, so like this is step 1 that I'm doing, step 1, and break the CSV into rows. So I have to do that, right? So how I'll do that? I'll say, for example, let rows is equal to split into rows CSV. Are you guys getting that one? I'm passing the CSV, the data that has been received, because I'll be doing everything over here. I'll just define separate functions, but I'll be doing everything over here. So I'm saying rows is equal to split into rows, the CSV. Are you guys getting that one? So whatever data it will receive, it will pass that data to this function. And this function supposedly will do what? It will break the data from \n and it will generate a new, a new array, which is called rows, which will have 3 values over there. Are you guys getting that one? And if not, I'll just, show you that in my REPL as well. Let me just copy this statement from here. I'll show you. Exactly. So yes, let me just show you something. I'll go to the inspector. I'll go to the console and I'd like to show you. This is the data. Now see here, if I just apply the splitter of the rows. So if I say let rows is equal to, for example, CSV data dot split, and split with what? \n. Wherever there is a \n, split that one. Now what is rows now? See, how many of you understand what has come out the rows? Rows is like, you see that whenever it find a \n, it has just make a new value out of it. So this array contains, now rows of 0 contains first line, rows of 1 contains second line, rows of 2 contains third line. Other than Valentine, can I get a feedback from everyone what the rows has done? Split the data with \n. Wherever you find a \n, split the data. Wherever you find the \n, split the data. So it found \n at 3 places. And what were the 3 places? This after inches, after cm, and after cm. So it has just divided that into 3 values of rows. Are you guys getting that one? Now I have got this 0th row, which has some values over there. First row, which has some values over there. And second row, which has some values over there. Austin says understanding. Everyone else understanding what's going on. And now I'll show you it in real action. And right now, I am, for example, let's say I return these rows from here and print them. Check that one. Wonderful. Dylan says that's understand. Now let's check that one. I'm returning the rows from here, right? So if I run that one again, do you see that something? This is very interesting. Now, this is an array with 3 values. First value has first row. Second value has second row. And then there is a comma. And someone was mentioning comma. Here, definitely this will be comma, because now this is an array which has, this is first value. This complete row is first value. This complete row is second value. And this complete row is third value. I got a response from some of the students. I'm hoping everyone understanding that one. It means that this is basically returning the rows and looks like the first step that was supposed to be done, that convert that into the rows. We have successfully done. But I would like to tell you something very, very interesting. Actually, we don't do that with the \n. Rather, we try to use the regular expression for that one. We split that with a regular expression. And I'll tell you the benefit of that one. So I say // whenever you find a \n, right? And split that string. Are you guys getting that one? Exactly the same thing, but in a little different way. And I'll tell you why I'm doing that. The problem is that, if I just run that again, do you see almost exactly the same output? It's exactly the same output because now it is splitting with a \n by regular expression. And you remember regular expression comes in front of, like in between these 2 forward slashes. So it is doing that one. Why I have done that? Because in Linux does not only understand \n as a new line. Linux introduces \r as well. Do you guys know about that one? The new line in Linux is actually, I'll tell you. \n in Linux. Yeah. So if I show you something that, so Linux says that whenever you do a \n, you have to do a carriage return as well. Carriage return means you need to take this is called carriage return. You need to take that on the front of the line. Are you guys understanding that one? So Linux understands, like, let me tell you what we are trying to do over here. Linux does not only understand \n. Linux says I need to have a \r as well. But you know that if we are on Windows, I don't need this \r. So if I will be running this program on Windows, \n will work. But if I'm running on the Linux, \r will make it work. But if I'm running that on Windows and \r is also there, it would be a problem for the Windows. So I'll put a question mark over here. So a \r is, if it is there, recognize that. If it is not there, don't worry about that. I don't know if you guys understood this one or not. I'll just save that one and I'll show you. It is exactly the same output. Because this is a question mark. On Windows, it is not even considered. If you run this program in Linux, it will just check that, okay, there has to be a \r. So Linux understand \r and \n. Linux does not only understand \n. Exactly. No, Mallory. It means carriage return. The cursor, taking the cursor to the back. It does mean that, but \r along with \n becomes meaning. What, Jennifer? That's a very good question. Jennifer, do you see this split in rows is receiving a parameter s? I have just called this parameter s. S means whatever you pass to split rows, it will split that one. S is actually the string that it is receiving. In our case, we are passing CSV. So this CSV becomes the value of S. Jennifer, did you understand that one? S means whatever is received, the parameter that has been received. Did you understand that one? So for example, I can call this function. So S can be, yes, exactly. Yes, yes, short for string, but you can, I think you should not be worried about that one. So Jennifer, yes, it's a variable. You can write anything. For example, you can say A. So if you write A, you will be splitting the A. So whatever comes up, call it A, whatever. Do you understand, Jennifer? It's the parameter, and parameter can have any name, and it will just receive the value and will become the value. The value, that value will become it's like the A will become that. So when I'm passing CSV, yes, so exactly. So you can call it potato or whatever you want it. All right, wonderful. So I hope that you guys are understanding the first thing that we have done, split the string into the array of separate rows. And we have seen that it has started to do that. The first function is doing that for us. And we are calling one function inside the other. Can you scroll up? Oh, yeah. Yes, Mallory, what do you want to see? See that? Mallory, is it good? You wanted to scroll up means, I don't know, to this part or that upper part? Okay, that's wonderful. Now, step number 2. What is the step number 2? I'll write all the steps over here. Step 2 is each row. Now the rows that have been split out, each row contains information of a user. And what is that? ID, name, phone number, and height. All separated by the commas. Now look at the output at the bottom and try to understand. Second step says that every row has ID, name, phone number, and height. Are you guys understanding? Every has that. ID, name, phone number, height. ID, name, phone number, height. So it says they are separated by the commas. Everything is separated by the comma. After first comma, name, second comma, phone number, third comma, height. Now, what we have to do? Separated by the commas. Split each row into an array with all different fields. And another thing, you need to deal with extra and or no white space between commas. Now see here, what does that mean? I have this output right now. They say that this output, if you look at that, every row, like every element represents one row where every record has ID, name, phone number, and height. So do what? They have these four values. Do what? All separated by commas. They are separated by commas, comma, comma, comma. Do what? Split each row into an array with all different fields. Now, I have to split now the first element of the rows so that I get this one in another value, this one in another one, this one in another one, this one in another one. Are you guys getting what we are trying to do over here? We are basically trying to do something like this. I'll create the second function. Function row to fields. I want to convert the row to fields. I will receive a row over here and look, Jennifer, it can be any name. You can write any name by the way. And you say return row split with a, and here I would use, first of all, I would use comma, and then I'll show you that we'll have to just make something. So what I'm trying to do over here, I'm trying to pass every row that has been created over here to this method. And this function will do what? It will split the row with comma and creating another row, another array that will have my fields separated out in each of them. Are you guys getting that one? I'll tell you what does that mean. If I come over here, do you know, like, this is the method. So, when rows has come, do you guys remember if I show you something and I just show you something, console.log rows of 0. Right? And for the time being, if I just, comment this out, look at that. I just commented that out and rows is equal to split into rows, console.log rows of 0. I want to know what is in the rows of 0. If I run that. Oh, I have not called this function. So how it would happen? Let's just do that. Process is equal. I'm just calling this function, right? And I'm not printing the process, rather I'm just printing. So you see that I'm not printing the process, the complete data. But do you see that rows of 0 means the first row? Can you guys let me know you are understanding? Rows of 0 means the first row has been consoled out. So when rows are converted into like this one, I have got this rows. The first row contains the first value. And if I just want to print all the rows, sorry, if I want to print all the rows, I'll do what? I'll just paste it and I'll say rows of 1. How many of you guys are understanding this one? Let me just show you. Do you say that it has shown me 2 rows? So rows of 0 contains the first row because I've splitted them out. Katharina says yes. Are you guys understanding? Everyone? I've not received. Okay, that's wonderful. So rows of 0 is this one. Rows of 2 is this one. Now, if you understand that one, I would like to show you something. Rather than printing these rows of 0, if I just do something, I have a function called row to field. Look at that. If I say row to fields and I pass this rows of 0 to that one. Let's see who understand this one. I have passed this row to fields, which will take this one and convert that, like split that with the comma. Look at that, what will happen now. I will ask how many of you understand what has happened here. I would be happy to see a thumbs up. So instead of printing the row, I've passed it to row split to field. So it takes the row, which was this one, which was this one, and it split it out with the comma and separated this one into different values of another array. So it has created another array over here. Are you guys understanding that one? How many of you understand this one? And that's a very important thing because, if you understand this, because I'm about to just, I'll just, tell you the right way because it's just the manual way of doing that. Dylan says understood. That's wonderful. Dylan, thank you very much. Now, I just see Dylan has responded and I've not seen every. So you understand that what is happening? I have taken one row and passed that one. Wonderful, wonderful, Valentine. Thank you. So now what I want to do over here, don't want to pass each row manually. Rather, I'll do something else. So first of all, I'm doing step 2. Step 2 is what? Break or split. Split all rows into array of fields. Now fields will be separated out now. Now if I come over here and how I'll do that, I'll say for let I is equal to 0, I less than rows of length, because I don't know how many rows might be there. I plus plus. You guys remember this for loop? I is equal to 0, I is less than. So whatever rows are there, I know there are 3 rows. You remember there are 3 rows? So take each row at a time and do what? Save that in a row. Row is equal to rows of I. Each row, save that in a row variable and take out the fields. Let fields is equal to pass that row to row to fields and console.log fields. Are you guys getting? And I'm not consoling log that one. Console.log fields. Let's run that one. Now look at that, what has happened. It has converted. This is the first array. Like, this is the first fields, set of fields. This is the second set of fields because there are spaces and everything, because that's why they are all destroyed over here. But do you understand that it has taken the 3 rows and it has converted 3 arrays out of it? And first, every array contains the field as the one value of the array. I've got another array over here. I will stop here because this is a little complex step. I had 3 rows. I passed those 3 rows one after the other to row to field. Row to field is this function. And it has just split it out every row with the comma, with the comma, with the comma. I will stop here and I'll ask everyone to just respond here. Valentine, you have already responded, but do you understand what is happening over here? Because I did not know how many rows are there. So there were 3 rows. Take one row at a time, save that in row and pass it to row to fields. Pass it to row to fields. And when it passes to row to fields, it converts another array here. Ryan, thank you. Angelica, thank you very much. Valerie, thank you. That's wonderful. How about you? Oh, even I know. That's what I want to know, because if you are the one who is lost again, of course, I want to have this feedback, because I will be planning my Friday session according to that one. Ethan says got it. Okay. So anyone else? And how about you, Jennifer? I think someone has given you a heart. So Jennifer, you are okay. Yes. So there are a few people who are having a problem. Unfused well, but we'll be rewatching the lecture. Okay, so Manny, you can ask the questions over here. So if you see Manny, when I converted to the rows, the values, so it came out, there were 3 rows over here there. And what I did was I actually took each row at a time, stored that in a row variable and pass it to the row to split. And it is just splitting them out. Now, okay, Tina. So let's see that. There is an interesting part over here. If you see the question again, what we are doing, ID, phone number, and height, all separated by commas, split each row into an array with all different fields. We are converting that every row into a fields by separating them with a comma. But there is an issue. Those who are with me, do you see that this first row looks good, but from second row there are lots of problems. There are lots of spaces over here and there. So now we don't want to split it with comma, just comma. We want to split it with a regular expression that will take care of the spaces as well. So first of all, yes, that's wonderful, Angelica. It's somehow trim, but trim by using regular expression. So I say whenever there is a comma, split this with the comma. Before comma, check if there are 1, 0 or more spaces. And after comma, check if there are 0 or more spaces. Angelica, you understand that one? Before comma, check 0 or more spaces. After comma, check 0 or more spaces, and then split that one. You know what will be the benefit of that? What will be the benefit of that? Now see here, if I hit save, and now I show you the output. Angelica, do you see a lot of difference between the output? Everyone can see that. Now it is not only splitting with the comma, it is rather splitting with 0 or more spaces after comma. So it has technically removed all the spaces from there. I really hope that some of you are with me. Like, I know there will be someone who will be lost. And again, the Friday session is for that very purpose. We will just look at everything over there. But yeah, James Lee has a space. I'll just check that one. Why the James Lee has a space? Okay. So why does not it remove spaces between L and space? Now listen. This is very interesting. And Rob, your question, and even your question, both questions are exactly the same. And I'll reply to both questions. Rob, look at the answer. What I'm saying. You say why the James Lee space has not been removed, and Evan is saying that why Alan Smith space is not removed. Alan, look at that. This is very good question. It is not looking only for 0 or more spaces. It is looking that along with the comma. So there should be first comma, and then it will go on the left and right, and then it will check that on the either side of if either side is a space, I will remove that. Evan and Rob, do you understand what I'm saying? Again, listen, because this space, there is no comma in between. Rob, you understand that one? This is wonderful. And that's a very good question. And how about you, Evan? Do you understand? Allen and Smith, yes, there is a space, but there is no comma here. So it is actually looking for comma, and then it finds out if there is a space on either side. I will then remove that one. Evan, did you get it? I think Rob understood a little, but even did you get it? Jennifer, I'll talk about that orally videos. Don't worry. I'll talk about the class after the class, right? Yes, Rob, this is the only one step that we have done. We'll do that as well. Rob. Don't worry. I'll fix this James Lee space as well. We are going step by step. Yes. So we are going step by step. You know what I mean? We are actually going step by step. So why you are worried about that one? So it is only if there is a space to left or right. Exactly. Even you nailed it. You know what I mean? Yes, that's wonderful statement. Because it is just looking for, you look at over here. Whenever there is a comma and there is a space after that one, it will just remove that. And if there is a space before that one, it will just remove that one. And the data is now looking like much more cleaner. It's not cleaner at all because you write James Lee's mess it's there. The space is there, and there are lots of other things that we have to do. But do you guys understand overall what is going on over here? Even did you try to understand? Are you understanding a little bit overall what is going on? So see here. That's wonderful. So see here what I'll do. So this is the fields that I'm doing that. Why not? Why not represent? Why not represent this one? So I'll say let data is equal to. I define an empty array, and instead of consoling, because I don't want to console that, I'll make it a comment. Instead of doing that, data dot push fields. Now I have created a new array which is called data now. Are you guys getting that one? Yeah, based on the regex, we are removing spaces or after the comma. Yes. So now if you look at that one, Janiel, don't worry. Janiel, the Friday session is for that very purpose. Don't worry. I'll definitely discuss on Friday session, Janiel. You know what I mean? So Janiel, attend that Friday session and I'll talk about that one. But now what I've done, I have just, passed that one and, rather than returning. And again, if I show you rather than returning right now, just for the purpose, if I show you console.log and I say data, show the data over here. So you will see that this data will be now much more compact. You see that now this is the data array that I'm just printing out. So this is the data array. Anyhow, I'm just console.log to just to show you that one. Right? And now I don't know. I hope that you will not get confused, but this is a little bigger code. If I want to write a little smaller code of that, I can do that. For I is equal to 0, this is a lengthy code. What I'll do a very interesting thing over here. I'll just mark it, for example, I'll just mark it a comment. Ellen, asterisk means no, not 0 or more, not 1 or more, 0 or more. 0 or more spaces. Now look at that. I'm doing something interesting. I comment out this for loop. And again, I'm leaving that here so that you have, and rather than doing that, I'll use the for. I'll say for let row of rows. Let fields equal to row to fields and pass the row. Data dot push fields. I'll ask a quick question. Do you guys know what I have done? I have compacted out this 5-6 lines code into 3 lines of code. How many of you understood this? For let row of rows, let fields is equal to row to fields, push that, and data dot push fields. Yes, Alan, so you got the answer. Lauren is also giving you answer, 0 or more. Dylan, yes, you will like that one because that's much more cleaner way of doing that one. And Dylan, be ready. Dylan, be ready for something more special about that one. If I show you something else, again, if I even comment that out, Dylan, be ready to show, see something really, really interesting. I'll say I would say let data is equal to, and because I have already defined let, so I'll comment that out for a second. Let data is equal to rows dot map. And now here comes a function that takes row and does what? It return row to fields row. A one-liner. now, and I've not used the arrow function. If I use the arrow function, it will be really a one-liner. If I just come here, let's use that because I've told you the arrow function. I'll just use it over here. And if someone does not understand, don't worry, I'll show you that later on. Okay. And I need one more over here. Dylan, do you see that? And you remember map function, Dylan? I discussed this map function a lot. That map function is very important. And what it is doing, data is equal to, even the let data statement is gone. Now all these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines converted into 3 lines or 4 lines. And now it has been converted into 1 line. Exactly the same thing should be happening till now. Exactly the same thing should be happening now. Now, other than Angelica, and can you keep both arrow function in one before it? Yes, I can do that. I can do that for you. Don't worry. I can do that for you. So I'll say, for example, I'll keep it this one and let data is equal to rows dot map function. Take one row at a time, make a function and return row to fields and pass that row to that one. That's what you want, Mallory. Mallory, do you want this one? That I want. Do you want me to keep both of the values over here? And let me see if it is working fine. Yes, wonderful. You see that it's the 2 shapes of that one, Mallory. I can understand these things are a little, and as Manny says, and there's other instance where we could ever use the longer version. Why not just always use? Jennifer, yes, that's a very good question, Jennifer. Why I am using first the longer version? Jennifer, please try to understand. This is for your understanding. I'm using the longer version. A time will come when we'll be doing React. I will directly write this one liner. Never, I will never write the full function. But Jennifer, do you know, do you understand? And I'm not talking to Jennifer, everyone. Do you know that if someone will come from this concept to this concept and to this concept, they will say, and to this concept rather, they will say definitely they understand what is going on. But some of you, if I had directly written it down, Melanie, the name is, if you remember, I will show you that in the notes of our last, I think week 3 notes, or this was week 1, 2 notes. I'll do you guys remember where we just wrote down, because we just wrote down that one over there in our week notes, and that was functions, type of functions. They were discussed. This was that one in week 1 or 2 script. Yeah, here. The name of the types is over here. Here. Oh, can you people find where did I discuss that arrow function expression? Oh, yes. So you're talking about regular expression. Anyhow, you can look at that one. You know, in the previous notes we have discussed all of those kind of things. So it's basically there. Now, so please don't get confused, Jennifer, with that one. Jennifer, this is just for understanding purpose. This actually, Jennifer, when you look at the notes later on after the class, you will come to know, okay, this is the line that has replaced actually this much code. That has actually replaced this much code. That has actually replaced this much code. But Jennifer, what I feel, why I feel it's important to show you all the ways right now is that we are in the beginning. So I think that because again, going step by step to this one, you will always like that. But of course, some of you might not understand if I directly write this one. Row to fields, row. They'll say, okay, what's going on? Would everyone agree with me, Austin and everyone? Would you agree with me? So we have reached to a very interesting program over here that we have got a data, and I'll comment this one rather than this one, as Melody has asked me to write both. So I've just written down the both of them. So should we do one more stop, or should we stop for one more step, or should we stop for today? Okay, I'll just give you one little hint before we go, because some of you are still thinking about the data is coming, but James Lee has so many spaces. I'm not doing that right now, just giving a teaser introduction for tomorrow, and you will really like it. A teaser introduction for tomorrow. Look how we will do that. And again, I'll tell you the real steps over there, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you a little interesting thing over here. If I have something called this, James space Lee. Now, see here, if I say replace, and here I will write, if you find one or more spaces, return them with one space. I would just ask how many of you understood this one. Whenever you find one or more spaces, convert them into one space. Hit save. I will stop here. Brendan, did you understand that one? Actually, this is what we will be doing. This is what we'll be doing. So now if you see here, if I write this one, James Lee, like that, and I convert them and I say replace / if you find one or more spaces, convert them with single space. Okay, now what has happened? Now I'll have to write a G over here. Global, remember global search. Everywhere, do this everywhere. Look at that. Austin, Manny, did you guys get that one? This is very interesting. And that is something that our next step will be, because we have reached to a point where we have our data that is basically showing over here. So what I'll write over here, because I usually forget, I'll write over here. Now we will do the next, or rather we'll just remember that from the next step. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you most of you have, I got an example. What was the \G? Oh, event. That's wonderful. Event, it is called global. You see that when I did not use that, it removed the space from the starting, but did not remove from everywhere. \G means from everywhere, wherever you find, you just do that. I'll again show you an example. If I don't use a G, and again, I'm converting the multiple spaces with a asterisk. Look at that. So multiple spaces are converted to asterisk, but not everywhere. Now, if I come here and I just say a G, a global, and I hit enter, you will see that all the spaces are converted to this one. So Valentine, yes, that's the way I do that. But of course, some of you find it difficult that there are so many ways of doing the same thing. But I think it's the right. What I feel is, but again, on Friday session, I will be going very slow, very different, and hopefully, if you come to that one, you will really enjoy that one. Again, those who are having difficulty. So I dearly want to see all those who are struggling with the concepts. Please join my class of Friday, right? Not like again. Okay, thank you, Janelle. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. And I'm making this the commit to my GitHub. September 26. So let me just comment that out. It will be committed and you will get the data over there. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your day and bye-bye.